coming out here after 30 years, yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts. Shout out to everybody out there on Team Banky Pound, man. I appreciate the love. Boom, 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 boom. Appreciate the support. Boom, boom. Duck them hooks. Man, we out here ducking them hooks, ducking them hooks. Appreciate everybody been rocking with me, man. I always got to show y'all love, man, because I feel like every time you watch my video, you showing me love. So that's why I always repeat that, man. I appreciate y'all, man. I really do. You know, y'all show up every day, so I show up every day. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna meet you there. I'm gonna beat you there. So let's keep it rolling, man. Let's go. We're on the road to 100K, man. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Let's get it. We got to get it out there. Get that message out there, man. And today I think is a good message, man. It's a good positive message, man, that need to be heard. And, you know, sometimes it may be understood, but things not explained may not be understood. It all depends on who it is. You know, people have different experiences. So a lot of people, something that's automatic to you may not be automatic to other people. That's why I try to keep that in mind, because the things that I know and they seem like regular and automatic to me, somebody might not. So that's why I put it out there. But today, man, I was just talking to Dixon, man. Shout out my brother Dixon. We set something up, try to get to y'all too. But yeah, and I was just talking to him, and I was thinking to myself, like, we was just talking about people that we was locked up with and people what they doing out here now versus what they was doing in there. And I just wanted to say that, you know, street reputation versus prison reputation. Two different things, man. Two totally different things, you know. And I think a lot of people get that confused, and to be honest with you, it done cost some people their lives. You know, literally it done cost people their lives, getting that confused. You understand me? And what I mean by that is, you could be out here on the street doing this, that, and the third, right? You know, you got a name out here in the streets. You know, whether you getting money, you know, you popping them pistols and you robbing people or you knocking people out or whatever the case may be. What you got going on out here on the street and people perceive you as this is who you are, this is what you are, and people may fear you or respect you or got certain type of, you know, admiration for you. That has nothing to do with the penitentiary. It truly don't. When you get in the penitentiary, all of that, the way you was revered, the way you was looked at, the way you was feared, respected, or whatever the case may be, once you cross them gates and come over into the penitentiary, man, you got to start all over. You got to start all over. And I know that may sound crazy to y'all, but it's true. Because in the penitentiary, it is literally a different world. And people in the penitentiary don't care nothing about what you did on the street unless you did it to somebody that they know. Unless you did it around people that they know. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, they don't care nothing about that. Because one thing they know for certain is that whatever you was doing on the street, however you was shaking people up and scaring people, it had somewhat to do with some type of gunplay. Some type of people being scared that you might kill them. They know in the penitentiary, it ain't no guns. They know in the penitentiary, in order to kill me, you got to come to me. And if you come to me, you got to be able to receive what I'm going to give you. And a lot of people ain't built like that. Even the ones that come off of the street that's known for doing this, that, and the third on the street. Now, I'm saying there's exceptions to every rule. I'm not saying everybody. You got killers on the street coming to the penitentiary and become mokel. You know what I'm saying? So, but what I'm saying is, even when they come in the penitentiary and become that, that's who they have to become in the penitentiary. What they did on the street is not gonna matter, because dudes ain't fighting at that. They ain't scared of what you did on the street because they weren't out there. They weren't around it. They weren't able to feel the vibe or the atmosphere of what you created out there. They can only hear about it or talk to somebody about it. And then they see you in person and they be like, him? This who y'all was scared of on the street? This man, no, it don't work like that in the penitentiary. Your reputation in the penitentiary will be gained in the penitentiary. you know, by how you conduct yourself, how you handle yourself, how you handle situations, how you handle it when dudes disrespect you, how you handle it when dudes try to carry you, how you handle it when dudes try to take something that belong to you. You know what I'm saying? How you handle it when dudes invade your space. You know, how you deal with the police, how they deal with you. That's where you gonna have a penitentiary name. That's when you gonna have penitentiary respect. How you handle those situations. You see what I'm saying? But now, this is a double-edged sword. It's the same thing. The reputation that you gain in the penitentiary will not be transferable to the street. You can't take that to the street. The way you live in the penitentiary, the way you have to survive in the penitentiary, the way dudes respect you in the penitentiary, the way dudes know that if they mess with you, you know what I'm saying, it's life or death. You know what I'm saying? It's injury or hospital. That's not transferable to the street. Because if you come out here and try to bring that to the street, first and foremost, you probably going to end up back in the penitentiary. That's first and foremost. If you don't end up, excuse me, in somebody's graveyard. Straight like that. And I'm telling you, I've seen it. Because dudes gain such a reputation in prison that people know them and they scared of them and they fear them. And when they say something, people listen because they know this is emphatic, that it has, you know, connotations behind it, like, you know, consequences. So they would take that and bring it to the street and think that people already know this. People already understand this. People already look at you and take your word like they take it in the penitentiary. No. Absolutely not. Yeah, absolutely not. And I've known dudes who have fallen victim to that, who have literally became casualties to that alone, coming out from all the things they did in the penitentiary, all the respect they had in the penitentiary, all the work they had to put in, all the, you know, things that they had to do to survive, where people now looked at them and understood, oh, you know, this such and such, man, I ain't, you know, they rather duck that wreck than get that wreck. You know what I'm saying? They'll duck that hook than to have a conversation with this dude because they know what's going to come behind it. So they start to live in that space that they created for themselves. And then they come out here on the street and they think they still in that space. And they get to trying these dudes out here. They get to talking to these dudes out here the way that they talked to dudes in the penitentiary, and they knew what the response was going to be in the penitentiary, and they don't know what the response is going to be on the street. These young dudes out on the street don't know who you are. They don't know what you did to survive. They don't know how you had to survive, and they ain't respecting that. You know what I'm saying? Some of them be, oh yeah, he did such amount of time, woo woo, but they just gonna pull the pistol out. If anything, it's gonna fear them. It's gonna make them fear you. They're gonna be more scared than, you know, they are anything else, and they might pop that pistol on you before they even think about, you know, even dealing with you. You know, especially the dudes that come out of the penitentiary, got a little size on, look like they've been working out. These dudes out here ain't working out, man. These dudes playing video games and smoking weed. You know what I'm saying? And they not doing that. They only strength and muscle they got is in their trigger finger. So when you come out here with that same mentality and you know, getting involved in this and getting involved in that, and then you respond in the way that you respond in prison, then, man, it's going to be bad for you. It's going to be bad for you either way, by doing something to somebody, end up going back to prison, or somebody doing something to you that may be fatal, you know. And like I say, I know personal situations like that, man, and they were sad, man, because I know them on both ends. You know what I'm saying? Both ends, it's a lot of different scenarios. I ain't gonna say a lot, but more than a few. You know, and the first one I've told y'all about prior to, like with the dude Andre. You know what I'm saying? How Andre was so feared on the street. Little guy though, small, petite, trim. You know what I'm saying? No muscles, no working out, no none of that. You understand? But he had a reputation on the street that was you know, vicious. You know, people was scared of him on the street, man. You know, really scared of him on the street because he had displayed that he should be feared. He even popped that pistol. He done shot people, you know, allegedly done killed people. He ended up getting convicted for murder, but they saying that he had got, you know, several other bodies under his belt before the one that he got convicted for. So people respected that on the street. They were scared of that on the street, but even they tried to kill him on the street. He had a whole lot of bullet wounds on him, I told you, from people trying to kill him. And then when he not dying after he done been, you know, so many attempts on his life, and it just made him seem even more invincible. So they were scared of him on the street. When I was in the jail with him, the police was afraid of him because of his reputation. The police talked about him. Police was like, oh, they finally got him. Woo, woo, because they said they was trying to get him, you know, for over a decade. You know what I'm saying? Knowing about his street escapades and things that he was doing out there. But they couldn't. They could never pin nothing on him. So when they finally got him and got him off of the street, his reputation was still on the street. That as of, you know, yeah, man, he dangerous. So he took that and brought it into the penitentiary. You know, him leaning on dudes and extorting dudes and trying to rob dudes and trying to handle dudes in a small frame. With no real, hands that, it didn't work. You know what I'm saying? It didn't work, and he ended up losing his life in the penitentiary. You understand me? And he came in with me. We was in the jail together, went to see him, and when I go off to Augusta, he go off to Buckingham and get killed. You understand me? And get killed just like that. You know what I'm saying? So to me, I can't say for sure, but the things that I heard of how the scenario transpired was that he was leaning on somebody and he was extorting somebody. But that was from his street reputation, not penitentiary. It is not transferable. You understand? You haven't put no work in the penitentiary to have people shook like that. You haven't did no things in the penitentiary that you did on the street to have people leery of you like that. You haven't did that. The penitentiary is a different world. You understand me? It's up close and then personal. You know, the street is huge. Can't even see it. It's just so many people, so many, different moving parts that, you can probably maneuver out here in the same space, in the same things that you do out here, with a much more success than you can in the penitentiary. Because in the penitentiary, you're going to have to, it's going to be consequences either way you look at it. On the street, it's going to be consequences eventually, but not, it don't necessarily mean it will be immediate. In the penitentiary, it'll be immediate consequences too, whatever you do. You see what I'm saying? And that's the difference. So when dudes bring that street reputation into prison and they thinking that they, I'm such and such, I'm him, man, you better listen to him. No, man. No, that could be fatal. That could be fatal. And unfortunately, it was fatal for him. And it's been other situations where dudes that came in there and lost their lives with their street reputation and coming in there and thinking they're going to run the penitentiary. You got dudes that came in there and they got, demolished, but still saved, not dead, not lost their life, but demolished, crushed. Injuries that last forever. Colostomy bag, loss of an eye, cuts across the neck, slices in the face, from street reputation thinking that they can bring that in the penitentiary. No, you cannot. You cannot. You have to earn that in the penitentiary just like you earned it in the street. That's just the only way it's going to work. Because dudes is not going to respect you just cause. Dudes is not going to respect you just because of what they heard, just because of what people talk about, just because of what people have said you was doing out there, because they know out there and in here are two different worlds. You know what I'm saying? They understand it because they in here, and especially the ones who've been in here a long time already, they understand it. Once you get to the penitentiary, it's not going to take you long to realize that you ain't in Kansas no more. You ain't on the street. It's not going to take you long to realize that. You know what I'm saying? But people don't look at it like that. Sometimes people don't look at it like that. They look at it like, well, this ain't like it. This ain't the street, but I'm still me. Now you got to be a new you. You got to be a better you. You got to be a more aware you. You got to be a more dangerous you. You got to be a more in tune you. This is a different place, man. It's a different place. And I don't know if I can articulate it well enough that people can understand, but it's like you, I told you, a lot of times I use that term, man, but it's like you in the twilight zone, man, because it's things that you're going to see and things that's going to be happening and things that's going to be like seemingly normal to everybody else, but to you it's going to look so weird and so crazy and so, like absurd, like, man, what? But that's normal. That's normalcy in there. On the street, that would be considered insane. You know what I'm saying? Insane. And you're not used to that, and you have to get used to it to the point where you can function and know where you functioning at. Because I'm telling you, man, you get them two things confused, and it's gonna be bad, man. It's gonna be bad all the way around the board, man. And like I say, I've seen people that come in there with that. You know what I'm saying? And and I seen people that come in there, like I say, both ways. I seen people that come in there off the street, but most of the ones I seen like that come in there off the street is like known for being feared out on the street. They was putting in work. They feared for a lot of things. Just their hands, not necessarily the gun. You know what I'm saying? Like I.E. Lamont Kane. It was transferable for Lamont Kane because Lamont Kane was knocking people out on the street, choking people out on the street, choke slamming people on the street. That skill is transferable to prison. But he will also pick the Bethlehem up and kill you if necessary. But, I don't think he really needed it. You know what I'm saying? To be honest with you, you know what I'm saying? Because of his, his ferocity and his size and his mentality already. You know what I'm saying? He was a gorilla before he came to the penitentiary. He just came to the penitentiary and became a silverback. You know what I'm saying? But that's not the norm. You know what I'm saying? That's not the norm. And especially in this time and era in 2023 and in the 2000s, man, these cats is not out there on the street fighting. They don't know nothing about fight. They don't even understand the concept of fighting because they got a trigger finger. That's the era that we in. They got a trigger finger. They ain't had no fights. Well, in the penitentiary, you gonna have to fight. You gonna have to fight to survive in there, one way or another. Even if you get into some knife play, you may have to fight because it ain't nobody just gonna just let you just stab them up. They not gonna do that. If you getting hit, you gonna try to stop this person from hitting you. Number one, because it hurt, and number two, because you trying to survive. Now, if that person is trying to stop you, can overpower you, and then take that weapon from you, then your life is at risk, man. Your life is at risk, and it might be taken because they're going to be running off of adrenaline. They're going to be running off of fear. They're going to be running off of pain, and they might just, and then next thing you know, you out of here. You out of here. You know what I'm saying? So, man, I'm telling you, man, this stuff is real, man. It's real as it gets. You know what I'm saying? It's real as it gets, man. And on the other side, I can remember this dude, man. He was a controversial dude when I first met him, man. But I you know how you get some people that they just grow on you, and he kind of like grew on me, but he grew on me over time, man. Because I used to gamble with him a lot. He loved to shoot dice. He loved to play poker, and at this time I'm into that. I'm into the dice. I'm into the poker. And I can remember when I had knew about him before I got on this side, because you know all the gamblers in penitentiary if you in the gambling scene. So I remember I got moved on to the other side, and I ended up being in the block with him. Yeah, dice was one of my big vices, you know what I'm saying? So he liked to shoot dice. So, man, we done had some vicious dice games, man. Big money, and they're penitentiary big money. Big old games, man, where we done played them, been in games together, been in poker games together. And I would never forget this dude, man, because like I say, he had that type of personality where you like him or you don't, or either you on the fence, because he act slick sometime, and then he act cool sometime, then he act smart mouth. So it was, touch and go with him, man. But like I say, over time, I think me and him got into a space where we was cool, you know what I'm saying, cool, and I understood what I was dealing with when I was dealing with him. But anyway, his nickname was, I don't know if it was his real name or nickname, but it was JP. And he had this little gold tooth on the side, and he had a habit of always doing this. It was annoying as all out doing. I think he was trying to flash the gold too, for real, but he was always, you know, even when he's sitting there waiting for you shoot the dice and he got money, and, you know, with his shooting dice, all this, man, it was annoying as I don't know what. But he was a good hustler in the penitentiary. I mean, he was a good hustler. He was a type, you have a type of dude in prison that, like, you call them flat-foot hustlers or just hustlers. Them dudes gonna find a way to the money. I don't care where that, you could put them in, you know, Alaska. They gonna find a way to the money. And in the penitentiary, he was a hustler. He gonna always have something. He gonna have a store by it. He gonna be running the poker game. He gonna be running the dice game. He gonna be running the parlay. He gonna be playing in somebody's poker game, dice game, or playing somebody's parlay. He gonna be doing something that's gonna generate him some money, whereas he can eat in the penitentiary without starving, not worrying about having nothing in his box, or getting hungry at night, or, you know, having some money when you gotta order something, or whatever the case may be. He gonna be all right because he knew how to hustle. And he lift weights and worked out a lot, so he had a little size to him too. Now, personally, I didn't believe he was, you know, up to his mouth. I didn't believe he was as bad as his mouth was. His mouth was bad. He'd talk that talk. I personally ain't believe it, you know what I'm saying? Seeing him get in a couple of scuffles, they was just physical with the hands. He, you know, he prevailed, but he was, you know, little, you know, it could have went either way. You know what I'm saying? But he portrayed the image in the gangsters, you know, image as if you fool with me, you're going away from here. You know, you going to the upper room. That's the impression he gonna give you. That's the verbal explanation he gonna give you. If you play with me, he was one of those type of dudes. But like I say, personally, I didn't feel like he would take it to that level, but I knew he would defend himself without question. But that was just my personal observation. But man, he was known for that. And he'll get in a poker game, or he'll get in the dice game, and he'll get the losing, and he'll have attitude, and get the cocking that lip up, and you know, start busting out accusations, man. Yeah, somebody cheating. I'm telling you, man, this man, yeah, I, you know, all of that, you know, and he'll have that Bethlehem with him when he in them games, man, because he knows that something could pop off at any time, and you know, you got to stay ready so you don't have to get ready. So he kept that tool on him now, you know what I'm saying? I've witnessed that, you know what I'm saying? And I witnessed him being verbal confrontations where, you know, it was getting ready to get ugly, and he ain't back down. He was far from a cow. He won't a cow, you know what I'm saying? So I want to make that clear. But that aggression that he had in the penitentiary, his approach to confrontation in the penitentiary, his approach to altercations in the penitentiary, was that right there is not transferable to the streets. This is a lesson that I've had to learn since I've been out here. It's not transferable to the streets. Number one, it's going to get you locked up. It's going to get you locked back up because you cannot handle situations the way you do in the penitentiary. On the street, you just can't do it. You know what I'm saying? In the penitentiary, everything is physical. They don't understand nothing else. The talking part ain't going to get it in the penitentiary. It's got to be hands-on, you know what I'm saying, for them to understand that you not to be played with, and that you mean what you say and you say what you mean. That's the only thing they gonna understand. You can talk till your mouth catch on fire. Man, don't play with me. I'm telling you how. They ain't trying to hurt. You know what I'm saying? They ain't trying to hurt. They might play with you tomorrow. They might play with you next week. You know what I'm saying? Because you ain't put out no demonstrations. You got to put out some demonstrations in the penitentiary for people to understand. You know what I'm saying? Demonstration, not conversation. They don't understand conversation. They understand demonstration. So if you bring that demonstration attitude towards the street, you going back in the penitentiary, or you going to go in the ground because somebody going to lay you down. They going to shoot you because they not, you know what I'm saying? You scared, man, you could die. You know what I'm saying? So eventually, I remember I heard he had got out. Did a decent amount of time. I think in the teens, the upper teens, 17, 18, 19, 20 years, something like that. But I remember hearing he had got out, man, and he was out there, he was doing good. And I knew he would to a certain extent because, like I say, he had that hustle in him. You You know what I'm saying? He had that. He ain't no dude that ain't gonna be broke. He just not gonna sit around and be broke. So, to my understanding, man, he was out here. He was doing good. He, acquired this real fast, that real fast, living real good. Because he came out here and he got on his grind or whatever it was that he was doing. But I heard he was playing dice. In a big old dice game one day out somewhere where he lived, and got to arguing over the dice. And in the game, which happens in dice, no matter where you at, penitentiary or on the street, and he at the penitentiary man said to him, "Oh no, it ain't going down like that. I'm gonna tell you right now. This, and put them words out there. Words is powerful. You understand me? And what he said, obviously, the dude believed in the prison, reputation of what he might have brought out here, and even verbalized. Man, in prison I don't play. Actually, I was in. Dude shot him, man, and killed him, man. And I heard he shot him in excess, teams, 16, 17 times. You know what I'm saying? And killed him right there on the spot. And man, I can remember when that information came back to me in the penitentiary, man. I was like, what? He was like, yeah, man, in the dice game out there, man. In the dice game out there. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, whoa, man, that's crazy. You did all that time, and you get out there, and you somewhat doing all right, and you getting your life back together, man. But that penitentiary reputation and mindset out here in the street, it ain't gonna work, man. It ain't gonna work. You have to adapt. You have to cope, adapt, and adjust. Cope, adapt, and adjust to your surroundings. You know what I'm saying? If I would have brought my penitentiary mentality out here, man, I wouldn't have been out here 30 days, man. I wouldn't have been out here 30 days with the way dudes move out here is not the way I'm used to people moving around me. The way they talk, the way they, I'm not used to that. Cut you off on the street and I'm giving the middle finger and jump out. Man, if I respond the way I respond in there, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. You got to suppress that stuff. You got to suppress it, man, because it's like I say, these things is not transferable, man. So, if you're out here on the street, you live a certain way and you got a certain type of understanding with people and people with you, it's not going to be able to be, taken into the penitentiary, man. You're going into a new world, a new life, and it's going to be new rules, And dudes in the penitentiary coming out here, you're coming back to a new world, new life, new rules, and we have to balance that, man, and be able to think and process that type of information, man, because dudes, like I say, man, these is not just, injuries, man. I know dudes have lost their life confusing those, mentalities, man, and thinking that they transferable, but they not. They not, man. It's different worlds, man. It's different worlds. Same planet, different worlds, And like I say, man, it's heartbreaking, man, because a lot of these dudes be good dudes, man. A lot of them be good dudes, man. They just they got caught up in the lifestyle, and that lifestyle, man, is hard to shake, be it out here or in there. You know what I'm saying? This is why I always say be smart, be safe, make good decisions, man. Because you ain't got but one life, man. You can't get it back, man. Not that I know of. You just can't get it back. So we got to keep that in mind, man, as we move through these, try to navigate our way through this world, man. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about that, man. I thought it was relevant. I thought it was something that needed to be said. It was on my mind, so I wanted to put it on y'all mind. So just let me know what you think about that in the comments, man. And talk to me. I talk back. Y'all already know that by now. I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support, man. So, let's get to this 100K. We got to get to 75K first. We need about 400, 500 more subscribers. So let's get that knocked out first, man, with that hook. Boom! And shoot straight to 100K, man, and put this thing out here to this world, man. It's positive energy, man. But TBP Nation, man, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate the love. There's a blessing in every lesson, man. And the blessing is, man, we can take the knowledge that we gain and give it to somebody who hasn't processed it yet. And in doing so, You can save a life, you can change a life, which may save and change a whole lot of lives. So keep that in mind, man. And I see y'all in about 24 hours, man. Y'all be safe, be smart, make good decisions, man. We got some big things popping. I can't tell y'all until I get 100% confirmation, but y'all stay tuned, man. TBP Nation, we on the move, man. Big love, and by all means, man. Boom, 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 boom. Duck them hooks, man.
The banking special.
Yeah.
Pure deliciousness.
Pure deliciousness, man. My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts.